ॐ तच्छंयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शञ्चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Here in India, the Hindus are crazy about the Vedas, Vedic literature, Vedic texts. There is a particular reason to claim this, that we are crazy about Vedic literature. Let me go from the other direction. Why do we give so much importance and reverence to this Vedic literature? Whenever we do some ritual, for example, some puja we do, any puja you see that there are two things offered to God. When we say Naivedyam is that whichever is offered to God to eat, to nourish. That is called Naivedyam. Niveditam Naivedyam. Whichever is offered is called Naivedyam. In fact, everything is just offered, but specially something eatable, something delicious food we prepare is offered as Naivedyam. In that category, two things are very important. First one is coconut and the second one is banana. Any puja you see, these two things are commonly available. Have you ever thought that why these two are only offered, not any other? It is fine if any other fruits are available. If not, at least these two should be there. Why do we consider these two are great? They say these are the two fruits available throughout the year. First reason. The second reason, it is not adulterated. We offer to God anything which is not adulterated. If you take apple, if you take any other fruit, generally it is grown elsewhere from the origin place through the transmission done by any other animals, birds, or the seed enters the animals or birds' body, then it is grown somewhere else. But these two especially are not entered any body. So it is pure and it is the best fruit you can offer to God. Similarly, that literature which is never adulterated by any human mind. We consider human is not complete. Human ever endeavors for completion. We all look for Purna. So we say some shloka, Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. We look for completeness. We look for integratedness. We look for that the finest stage of human life. What is the literature available on the earth which is so pure, which is so fine, which cannot be modified, which cannot be adulterated by human mind is this Vedic literature. So is the sutra in Patanjali's Rutambhara Tatra Prajna Shrutanman Prajnabhyam Anya Vishaya Vishesharthatva Tatopi Visheshaha. So how this Vedic literature came into existence? They say Vedic literature is not created by any human. It is not the creation of human mind even. Then if it is not created by human, not even human mind, is it the creation of the God? They say even not. It is not the creation of God also, Vedic literature. Then what it is? It is simply, to give an analogy, all of you have mobiles, all of you have been using radios and other equipments, you keep anywhere that receives and it reproduces again. Matching the frequencies of radio wave, anybody can reproduce it. There is no distinction, oh, only those people should reproduce, only BSc students, only MSc students should have the capacity of reproducing with the mobiles. No, whoever has the mobile can reproduce it. So that is the rule. Like, whoever has harmonized oneself with the entire creation, with the entire world, with the entire cosmos, he can reproduce the Vedas naturally. So even gods also cannot create, also cannot write this Vedic literature. So is the word Apaurusheya. The word, another word, synonym for the Vedas is Apaurusheya. Purusha Mati Apranitam. It is not created by any human mind. If at all there is intervention of human mind, there can be adulteration. So this is what we are crazy about. Anything which is not created by human mind is something which is pure, which cannot be compared with anything else, that alone stands separate from all the other literature. So if we listen some of the mantras, for example, Tacchayor Avranimahe, just now I chanted a mantra. Tacchayor Avranimahe, Gatum Yajnaya, Gatum Yajnapataye, Devi Swastirastunaha, Swastirmanushebhyaha. In the later stages, these mantras were not understood very clearly, because again, the same reason, our mind cannot keep itself pure. It is, again, mind is also crazy. Mind can do anything, mind will do anything. So it has itself inbuilt that it gets corrupted as time passes. So all our scriptures or any other literature available thought as spiritual presentation, those all will help us to refine our mind day by day. It is not only Bhagavad Gita or the Brahma Sutras or Upanishads or Bible or any scripture you take, those are all to facilitate us to refine our mind day by day. So we find very straightforward instructions from the Vedas. So the next level of literature, we call this literature, Vedic literature, as Shruti. Then the second one is Smriti. When the people were not able to reproduce knowledge available in the cosmos, at least they remembered what they said, what it was produced in Shruti Parampara, then they said it is Smriti. Smriti is you remember, you edit, you author, you do anything which you want, is called Smriti. Bhagavad Gita is also Smriti. It is not the Vedas. Many shlokas which are written by the rishis, like great sage Valmiki or Vasishtha or Veda Vyasa, all these are authors of Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata, Ramayana and many other smritis. So all these come in the second level, second category of literature. Then the third one is Nyaya Prasthana or Sutra Prasthana. When the unknown factors in the cosmos are not understood simply by reading the Vedas, Vedic literature, Smritis and Sutras will help us to put anything in a logical way. So Sutra, it is also called Nyaya. Nyaya is a logic. Logically you present anything, then it is understood by everybody. So these three play a major role in Indian tradition and Hindu tradition. One of the sentences from the Vedas, Yatra Vishwam Bhavati Eka Needam. Yatra, that is the ideal society, that is the ideal culture where the Vishwam Bhavati Eka Needam. Needam is the nest. The whole creation, whole cosmos becomes a nest for anything which is available here. So, Yatra Vishwam Bhavati Eka Needam, that is the ideal, that is the finest society where everything is inclusive and the whole world is one nest. So is the shloka, Ayam Nija Paroveti Ganana Laghuchetasam Udaracharitanantu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We say Vasudha, the whole Prithvi is one Kutumba, one family. So yesterday we celebrated Raksha Bandhana, saying we are all sisters and brothers. Where is it originated from? These are the sentences. Yatra Vishwam Bhavati Ekanedam Ayam Nijaha Paraha iti. Those are low mind people who think, oh, I am this, these are my people and these only belong to my family. No. The sentences are Vasudha eva Kutumbakam. Vasudha is the whole Prithvi. Prithvi is Kutumbakam, one family. So we are all here to celebrate the oneness of the family and the available oneness in the cosmos in day-to-day life by practicing the sentences of the Vedas, sentences from the scriptures. Let us sit straight, let's close our eyes and let's have a strong belief, a strong thought of making any human as a member of family. This is the greatest spiritual practice, to think, to behave, or inclusive human creation as one family. Adapt Namaskar Mudra. Om